My name is Ethan Reif, and I'm the founder of Cactus and Candles, an online company that sells cactus and candles. Overall, it's been an incredible experience, and I can't wait to fill you in on all of it. Many of you are probably wondering where we got our cacti and our candles from. There's an important story here, and I'm hoping I can provide you with some value. We first got our certificate by going on the US government website for the state of Oregon and going through the details listed there. If you're wondering about that, I'm sure there will be a link in the description. With that document, we were able to buy it at a wholesale price from larger manufacturers and a farm. I say a farm because I wouldn't really say that you can manufacture cacti. We found this farm called Altman Farms in South California, and that's where we purchased our cacti from at a lower price. The problem with purchasing wholesale, and one that you're gonna encounter, is that there are minimum order quantities, MOQs. So what is a minimum order quantity? Well, it's pretty much a guarantee that you'll purchase a certain amount. In fact, you can't purchase anything less than a certain amount of one product when purchasing from a wholesaler. For us, I believe that was around 200 cacti, so we had to purchase around 200 cacti at a time. And this is just something to take into consideration if you're also thinking about starting a business, is that there are certain risks that are associated with starting a business. There's no such thing as free and easy money lying on the ground. If there was, somebody would pick it up. So you have to take into consideration the risks that you're willing to take before you make the jump. For me, those risks were already sorted out, and I was lucky enough to have a small Spark grant from the UO community and from the Lundquist College of Business, specifically the Center for Entrepreneurship, in order to start the business myself. I'm incredibly lucky and blessed to have those resources available to me. And if you can find some form of Spark grant, please apply for it. Try to find a way to get some form of outside money so that you're not just putting everything of your own on the line. One thing you're also going to want to understand about purchasing from a manufacturer is that there's something called lead time. Lead time is the amount of time that it takes for them to produce whatever you're asking them for. Because I was asking for custom-made candles, they had a 6-week lead time, plus a 2-week shipping time, which is 8 weeks between when I order the candles and I got the candles. 2 months is too long. As a startup, you're going to be wanting to move quickly and to have as much data as you're going as possible. It's hard when you have to order a large amount of product and it takes 8 months to get there, and then you have to make sure all of that is sold and you're not certain about what sells best. This is why market information and market data is really important. This is why I would also recommend that you you produce surveys and pass them out to friends and family and people that you think might be interested in whatever you're starting. For me, that was Cactus and Candles. I asked people what their favorite scents were. I got scent samples, and I had all my friends test them out and rank them based on which ones they liked the best. Using that information, I ordered the top 8 of the ones that were liked the most. This helped me excel sales in an early and crucial time of the startup. So on to selling. Now we've sourced the products, we've waited the 2 months for them to come, we've labeled them with custom labels that we purchased online, so they're now officially our product. It was Cactus and Candles' time to shine. However, we had no customers other than relatives, friends, family, and people we knew. So how are we gonna find new people? This is something that you'll hear a lot about in e-commerce. Social proof. Well, what is it? Well, if you take into consideration the fact that your customers aren't gonna be holding the product in their hands, they're not gonna be seeing it, they're not gonna be smelling it. You have to consider that there may be some level of trust that you have to build with this customer first. Make sure that they know that you're going to deliver on your promise. And so there's a lot of great tools for this, but building a social media presence is a great one for it. It's important to note also that marketing costs are usually really high for acquiring a customer, but are significantly reduced after acquiring the customer in what is called as remarketing. Remarketing is when you target the same people who've already seen your content and you continue to ask them to buy. They may have already purchased, or they may have passed up on your ads in the past. One of the best tools for remarketing is having them follow your Instagram account. Why? Because you don't have to pay to put an ad in front of them every time you want to show them your product, release a new product line, or even update them on a new customer experience option. This is why we decided to invest heavily in our Instagram. In fact, we grew our Instagram from 0 to 1,500 followers in less than 3 weeks. We used a few different social media strategies to build our Instagram to the following that it is today. One being the follow for follow strategy, and another being the hashtag strategy. We actively engage in the community of candle lovers and cactus lovers, liking content and commenting on other posts. This is really important if you're trying to establish yourself as a business. We focus really on building a great customer experience. What that means is focusing first on the customer, making sure we get orders out very quickly. In fact, all we do is ship expedited, 1 to 3 days, and we try and get our orders out within 1 day so that the shipping order gets there within 4 days. And how do you think you would go about shipping one of these? What are the shipping costs going to be like? What are the costs of the product? And how much am I going to be able to sell it for? This is important to understand because you need to know what your margins are. If you have zero margins, it's very likely that you're going to be able to continue your business and that you're going to be able to sustainably build a profitable income. So making sure that you have the right margins should be one of the first steps in creating a sustainable business. The rule of 3 is that you mark up your product 3 times whatever the cost is to purchase it. 3 times being 1 part for marketing and then the other part for profit. And so if I can purchase this candle, say, at $7, then I need to sell it at $21 to be able to make a decent profit. We can produce one of these now for about $3 to $5 depending on which materials we use. This is important to note because we're going to want to mark it up 2 times to sell it to retailer. The markup price or the average markup price from wholesaler to retailer is about 2 times. This is important to note because this is what people are going to be expecting of you when you state your prices. Also, from retailer to consumer, it's about a 2 times markup as well. So if I produce the candle for around $5, I would want to sell it to a potential retailer for around $10. And then they would want to put it on their shelves and market it for $20. This way you can also understand how much your product is being sold to the consumer for, and also how much you're going to get for it if you're trying to sell it to a fellow retailer. If you're not producing the product and you're purchasing the product, it's important to understand that you still need to mark up the product at 3 times if you're selling e-commerce direct to consumer. This is important because you want to create a sustainable margin, like I said earlier, and 1/3 of the price should be dedicated to marketing, earning your first customer or your customer acquisition cost. In all of this, we've learned so much from the beginning. We have gone from a very small company of just myself, packaging, shipping, building the website, starting the Instagram, emailing friends and family, telling people about the business, asking questions, product samples, all of these things, all were learned along the way. Nothing was known directly before the business started. I didn't even know how to register a business. It's important to note that you aren't going to know everything along the way. You aren't going to know what you're going to have to overcome. You're not going to know the exact price that you're going to need to sell it at. You're not going to know the exact cost, surprisingly. That's a tough one to get over. You're not going to know how much time it's going to take, and you're not going to know when you're going to finally become successful. The important part to note is that if you believe in yourself, and you also have people around you who believe in you too, and you want to provide some form of value, some good thing for society, and you want to produce, then you should do it, regardless of what the repercussions of your decisions are. You should do it because it's going to be a valuable learning lesson, because you're going to grow as a person, and because maybe, just maybe, you'll make it. What you got to do now is make sure you melt that subscribe button and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you boost these guys, throw a little comment, post it on Instagram, do what you need to do, but show some support. This quality content wasn't produced for free, and it takes people's time. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it, and I hope you got something of value from this YouTube video.